Like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell.
All right, how's everybody doing? It is a day. We're in Ohio, waiting to go pick up a load at midnight tonight. Sitting at some mom and pop Exxon station or Shell station off the Turnpike. Didn't take the Turnpike because I don't drive the Ohio Turnpike because that son of a bitch is. And I don't spend that kind of money for nothing. We're taking this load up to Wisconsin, and if we were to run the tolls, there's $195 in tolls from here to Wisconsin, 500 miles. If I add about 30 miles and 30 minutes to the time, I had $0 in tolls. So that's what I'm doing. Anyways, did I say we have a Facebook page, Trucking with David H? I don't know.
I think we do, though.
I want to tell you a little bit of story of our last couple of days. We've had some fun. Right?
Oh.
First, let me give you a backstory on this place. This has to do with the GM plant in Arlington, Texas. A couple months ago, we go there, and we get there. I believe we were... Hey, babe, why are these getting scratched? Are you hitting these with your coffee cup when you're putting your coffee cup down?
No.
Look at that. See the tops of
close to
these?
them. No, I don't even.
Or is this thing...
Oh, probably that.
No, because that's what... Anyways, it's squirreled over here.
Yeah.
We get there, we were on our way home, and we delivered to Arlington, Texas before we went home. It was a GM plant. Usually they take car parts like this. We get there right off, oh, go park in the staging area. We'll call you when we're ready to send you back. So after an hour or two, I remember I ended up going to sleep. It took them a minute. They called us. I got up. We went over there. And the security guards, oh, I need to search your truck, which I was already irritated. So it's like, you ain't searching my truck. Which, no, I told him, you're not getting in my truck. You're a freaking mall cop. There ain't no mall cop getting in my truck. You don't want your stuff? Don't take your stuff. You know, I don't care. So he did a search from the floor outside my door. Literally, I opened the door and he went and he looked on the floor around like that. I said, what kind of search? What's the point in that? What's this? What's that? And he said, well, because usually if people have alcohol or anything like that, it's right by their seat anyways. Okay, mall cop. So anyways, we go back there, get told to go to a specific section. We went to that section. They put us in a door, and like an hour or so later, come out and they say, oh, you're in the wrong section. You need to go to the other side of the building, which was hard to find. Finally get over there, and I remember pulling up, and it's like, okay, I guess I park along the curb right here. There's a sign, there's a dumpster that says no parking, and then another dumpster that says no parking, and I believe they had arrows pointing. And I'm like, okay, so no parking between these dumpsters. Fine. So I parked in front of the dumpster. Went inside. She said, okay, when this truck leaves the door, go ahead and open your doors and back in there. We'll get you unloaded. I said, great. As I'm walking out, I hear somebody open the door and just, who's driving that blah, 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 blah truck? I'm already in a foul mood. People shouldn't mess with me when I'm in a bad mood, right? Because I'm just a grump.
Yeah.
So I know he's talking about me because I kind of had a feeling I wasn't supposed to park there possibly. And I'm like, that truck right there, that's me. All he had to do is say, oh, he says, I take it you've never been here before? I said, no, I haven't. This is my first time. So at that point, all he had to do is say, okay, when you come in, stage over here. But instead, he yells at me about parking in the wrong spot, and I'm causing him to waste his time to have to come find me to tell me to move the truck. So I'm like, move it for what? Am I in your way? No, I'm not in your way. Okay, you're not supposed to park there, but I'm not in your way, so you didn't have to come get me. You could have simply just waited until I walked out to my truck and you're in this dock over here. You could have said, hey, back your truck up. So after me and him argued for like 5 minutes, and he told me that he's calling my dispatcher, he's calling my company, we're never going to be allowed back there. And I was telling him, good, I don't ever want to come back. It's been nothing but a damn nightmare being here. Apparently he didn't do it because I never heard anything about it. So I guess I needed to back up about 20 yards and then I was good. So I did that, got unloaded, left. And I told Melissa, we're never coming back there. These people are nuts. So we get a load 2 days ago going to the same place. I didn't know it. Although I was like, Arlington GM plant, that sounds familiar. And Melissa says, oh, it ain't the place. And she goes, isn't it that one? I'm like, no, because I'm looking at the overhead view and I'm not picturing what she's saying. So as soon as I get there the other day and I pull up, I realize it's the same place. I'm like, oh my God. Really? So we show up 2 hours early and I pull in there. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Our appointment was at 10. So I know there's a staging area. So I go in there and you're only allowed to sit there for a half hour in the staging area. But when we called and they said that there's a truck drop area where we could, or trailer drop area where we could park. So I get to security. Oh, you don't have an appointment. So anyone who doesn't have an appointment has to come back at 2200. Oh, no, that's not going to work for me. I got a load I got to pick up tomorrow morning in Austin or San Antonio, or it was 4 hours away. I want to get there today. So needless to say, she says you have 30 minutes out there and then you have to leave and there is nowhere to park your truck. You have to go to a truck stop or park on the street somewhere. So I called dispatch or message dispatch. They do their thing. Finally, all said and done, we have to come back at 2200. There ain't nothing we can do. So it's like, all right, technically it don't matter because we can't, we'll still, if we leave here by 2 o'clock in the morning, we'll be able to get to our pickup, no problem. So 10 o'clock comes around, we drive back over there, go in, it's a madhouse, go to the back, I check in, and the guy's all, okay, yeah, just sit here and wait and I'll let you know. I said, well, how many trucks in front of me? He goes, at that time I think there was like 3. Okay, cool, so I'm waiting. Okay, truck, you go to that door. 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 I'm like, I should be next. Hey, you go to that door. And people trucks are coming in now, getting doors. So I finally asked him, what's up? I thought I was, he goes, oh, no, you're next. He goes, there's one truck in front of you, then you're next. Okay. Well, apparently how it works is there's different, there's the whatever. So still, I'm waiting, and trucks are going. I finally get up, and as I start walking to him, he goes, here's what the problem is you've got bumpers. We don't need bumpers. He goes, so it's going to be a while. They're not going to take you until they use the ones they have in production right now before they can take yours back there. I'm like, wait a minute, you can't just take them off the truck and store them? No, we got to use the ones in production. And then, look at that, my hair is sticking out like crazy right there.
Keep talking.
We got to use those, then we'll unload you. At this point, it's midnight. I'm like, well, how long is that going to be? I don't know. And that, as I'm talking to him, a forklift driver rolls up, the guy that keeps calling people to come. And I looked at him and I said, do you know how long? He goes, I have no idea, man. I said, no, come on, man. I go, you can't unload me? He goes, no. He goes, we ain't got nowhere to put this stuff. I said, well, you know what? That's really not my problem. I go, I was paid to bring the stuff here. I brought it here. I go, supposed to be 10 o'clock in the morning, and then they tell me 10 o'clock at night, and the guy let the cat out of the bag, and he said, oh, yeah, we were having, they didn't need them this morning, so they just told us to come back tonight. So this guy, when I'm bitching at him, I'm like, look, man, it's not my problem. I go, you can just take the stuff off, throw it in a corner. I don't care. I go, it's not my problem. This guy tells me, and I don't know the exact words. It's going to be mostly right because I can't see on my phone. I typed it in. But he said, you need to sit down, you punk-ass bitch.
And use the MF word.
Oh, yeah, you
Don't
punk-ass
forget
bitch, motherfucker.
Yep.
And when he said that, the guy that is on the computer that you check in with, his eyeballs about pop out of his head, and my eyeballs pop. I'm like, wait, what did you just say? And of course he starts scurrying off on his forklift as I'm screaming, wait, come back. And I'm like, oh, he just took off. So I told this other guy, dude, I need a manager and I need him here right now. And he points, he goes, well, that's the manager right over there. So I start yelling for the manager because this idiot doesn't call him. I'm screaming at the top of my, hey! You know, and he looks, I go, yeah, I need you over here right now. And, you know, he finally comes over. And I tell him what happened. And he asks the guy that does the check-in, did you hear any of this? And the guy is, you can tell he wants to say, I didn't hear, I'm staying out of this. But I look at him, I look him dead in the eye waiting for him to say, because I was like, dude, your eyes popped out of your fucking head. So he's like, yeah, I heard it. He's like, oh man, really? And you could tell the guy was disappointed that he said that. He was really hoping that he was going to say, I didn't hear nothing. He's like, okay, well, I'll take care of it. Blah, blah, blah. So I got the name and whatnot. And, you know, I sent a message to dispatch, hey man, you need to get me the hell out of here because I'm not good with being here. And I told them I want that they need to complain to whoever they can complain to about this being treated like this. So now I'm mad dogging the dog guy every time I see him, but then he ended up disappearing for a while. And the manager, his manager came back out and he takes me, he goes, let me take you outside. Let's go outside for a minute. And I'm pretty much, dude, just get me unloaded and I can get out of here and we can just forget about all this. Well, we're going to do what we can, blah, blah, blah. So he's all, so exactly what happened, because my guy says that you were cussing at him. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I go, number one, I wasn't cussing at him at all. I told him he needs to unload me, that I don't care what they do with the stuff, just get it off my truck. I said, number two, if I cussed him out, if I did cuss him out, does that give him any right to talk to me like that? You got to remember, I'm still the customer. Oh, no, he still shouldn't talk. I said, yeah. He goes, but if you did cuss him out, I can understand because, you know, they're under a lot of pressure. I said, no, I don't want to hear none of this. I'm under a lot of pressure. I'm going to lose a $3,000 load if you guys don't get me unloaded in the next hour. And possibly screw my whole week up because, you know, you got load stacked on load, stacked on load. I said, so if anyone's under pressure, I'm under pressure to get this stuff off my truck. And so we talked for a minute and he acted like, you know, he was going to do me a solid and unload me.
Yeah.
So anyways, about 2 o'clock comes around. My load gets canceled, of course, because we can't make it anymore. And about 2:30, I finally get told to go to a door. So I go to the door. I get unloaded. I get a green light. I go in, and I'm waiting there. Or actually, I'm supposed to be in there. But I went out and got a green light. So I went back in. And I said, are they going to come up with it? Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and he walks up and he hands me the bill I gave him plus a couple more and a seal. What's this all about? Oh, it's for your empties. I said, no, man. I said, I told him that I'm not taking any empties. I said, come on, I need to get out of here. I go, can you take them off? Nope. What do you mean, no? He says, it says that you're getting empties, so you got empties. What you do with the empties is up to you, but here's your seal. They'll put it on when you at the security gate. I said, no, I'm not going. So they, of course, I had to call dispatch, which dispatch never did a damn thing. Dispatch, because it's night dispatch. They're like, well, let us look into it. So 6 o'clock in the morning, finally, after I'm nagging them freaking guys forever, at 5:45, they're about ready to do a shift change. The guy goes, well, you were right. Management checked into it, and there is a note in the computer that you're not getting a reload. Okay, great. So you can unload this? Yeah, we'll get it unloaded. So now 6 o'clock comes around for a shift change. He's gone. Everyone's gone. New shift's coming in. So I talked to the lady. I said, hey, no, it was earlier than that because I was waiting for a couple hours before I was getting impatient about them taking it. It took them from like 2 o'clock in the morning or so till 6:30 in the morning for me to get out of there. But even when shift changed, I asked her, I said, okay, the new shift's coming in. Can you have them take these off the truck? No, I can't have them do you before. I go, but no one else is here. I go, anyone's coming in is new people. I'm the only one sitting here still. She goes, it doesn't matter. There's an order. Things have to be done. She goes, now there is a note what happened. And yeah, they told us and, you know, we'll tell them, but that don't mean they're going to do it. I can't force them to do it. Fine. But can you tell them that, hey, they messed up. You know, he's been here for 20 hours at this point. Can you please unload his truck? So needless to say, I went back. Oh, I said, I'm going to go sit in my truck. She goes, well, if you leave this room, they ain't going to unload you. And at that point, I've had enough of their bullshit. I said, that's fine. Because eventually you want your door. And I walked out. So sure enough, I walked out and I sat in the truck. 'Cause I don't care. I lost my load. I have no load. My dispatcher doesn't get in until 8 o'clock in the morning to even find me a load. So it's 6 o'clock in the morning at this point. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'll sit here till 8 o'clock in the morning. I have nowhere to go. And somebody comes out looking really pissed off. And he comes walking around the truck and he looks at me. I roll my window down and he looks at me and he goes, what are you doing? Are you going to go? Because I have a green light, right? I said, no, I'm waiting to be unloaded. What do you mean? He goes, you've already been unloaded. You just got your empties on. I said, that's the thing. I'm not supposed to get empties. And he didn't say anything when I said that. I said, I'm not supposed to get it. He just walked away. Didn't say oh or anything. He just got mad and walked away. And then within a few minutes, the light went red and they started unloading me.
See,
but
I
I'll
didn't hear
tell
all
you.
that. I didn't hear about him coming to your
Oh,
house.
yeah. It was a thing. So after all that plays out, I go to a truck stop, back to a truck stop, Big D's truck stop over there. And, which I still had my, you have to pay $20 to park there. And I parked there the day before for 12 hours because we were early. And for any of you guys going, well, that area you could have found parking on the street somewhere in the industrial, on a Sunday especially. Yeah, I could have went to any one of those industrial buildings and pulled in their lot and act like I was. But Melissa was going to be waking up soon from sleeping her 10-hour shift. And chances are she's going to need a restroom and so on and so forth. So I'm not a dick. So I went to a truck stop. And sure enough, when she got up, she got her coffee and used the restroom and everything. So after all that's said and done, I get a load. We finally get a reload, or a new load. And I go to pick it up. And we get there, and it's a warehouse that's not even finished being built yet. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I let dispatch know. They said, well, broker said just follow the rules, or the notes on there, which it said, go into the first dock to the table and check in. Which when I went in there, I see the tables, but everyone there are like, no, man, we're still building this place. There's no shipping coming out of here. And didn't know what the hell I was talking about. And as I'm talking to him, we're sitting there laughing about the whole situation. He goes, hold on. And he called his foreman on the phone who wasn't there. And said, hey, are you expecting anyone to return something or something? He's like, yeah. Oh, well, they're here. Oh, I wasn't expecting them today. So he shows up after about 15 minutes or so. And the stuff really wasn't ready to go, but they got it ready to go. It was these bars. It was what holds. It's a FedEx facility they're building, and all those conveyor belts. It's all the dunnage that hold those conveyor belt pieces on pallets and stuff. So it's all the steel dunnage that goes back to the shipper. So they put it in the truck. I pull forward. Oh, we need to get out of here because it's got to deliver today by 2 o'clock. Otherwise, we have to wait till tomorrow, 6 a.m. So I want to get the hell out of there so we can get it done today. And so the guy's 15 minutes to get there. Then when he gets there, he doesn't have a bill of lading. His printer doesn't work. So I print it out in my truck because I have a printer on the truck. And it's a blank bill of lading. So he doesn't know what to write on it. We got to figure out what to write on it. We write it on there. He loads the truck. I pull forward, go to strap it down, and he puts it into my truck but leaves it about 5 feet from the bulkhead. I'm like, what the fuck? If I hit it, if we have an accident, that thing's going to go through the front of the trailer and into the sleeper and kill us. So I back up, have to find him because he's nowhere to be found again. Get him in there and he pushes it all the way forward. I strap it down and we leave. We get here at about noon. Open the back doors and all these, we'll call them poles. Okay, like 150 poles. Well, half of them are laying on the floor of the truck. What they did is they took ratchet straps, 3 of them, and they went around them and the pallet and ratchet strapped them closed. but they're not round poles. They're like flat bars with sharp edges, and it cut all their straps. So they just fell everywhere. So when I seen that, I'm like, oh, great. So I back into the door, and by the time I come into the back of the trailer, the guy that's going to unload, nope, I ain't doing it. Send it back. I ain't. And he's cussing. Ain't no way I'm picking that up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Jesus. So he's taking pictures and going on his computer and writing the shipper and blah, blah. So I go outside and I get my gloves because I'm like, you know what? If he's wanting to send this back, I'm going to stack this shit. I want out of here because I already got a new load. She already sent me a pre-plan for after. That's the one that picks up at midnight tonight. So I'm ready to unload it myself. And luckily, by the time I came back in, he was calmed down and they were coming up with a plan of picking this stuff up. So I was like, so what's the plan? I go, are you going to take, yeah, I'll get it off and we'll pick it up. But he started telling me the story how this keeps happening with this one shipper, or contractor company, builder is what they're called. With this one builder, they keep sending things back not strapped and not put in boxes right, so it's pissing them off. So anyways, that's been my couple of days, fun days. Oh, and then I just got notified today that the dog trainer's going to need 10 more days. Boo. Haha, that's mean. But anyways, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hope you enjoyed it. You got anything to add to it, Melissa? Of course not. Of course not.
No, I mean, I was listening to you and I heard things I hadn't heard before.
What are you doing over there?
Looking at the world's oldest rock stars.
Keith Richards.
Robert Plant.